So to start off this review of Crimson Peak, I just want to say that this is a gothic romance with elements of horror. If you were expecting tons of jump scares and buckets of blood and non-stop scary stuff, you're going to be disappointed, guys. This is a slow-burning film that is mostly romance. So if you don't like romances, may as well stop watching this review just right now. But for those that are interested in gothic romances or don't even know what a gothic romance is, I'll tell you. A gothic romance is simply a movie with elements of romance mixed in with gothic themes, gothic design. It's mostly all about the costume designs and the set designs. If you've seen the movie Rebecca, which came out in 1941, I believe, which is an Alfred Hitchcock directed film, this film takes a lot of elements of that, and as well as the Jane Eyre kind of plot module, I guess you can say. In terms of storytelling, I personally just thought the story was okay. In fact, I was kind of disappointed by it because it's been done so many times before. The main protagonist is played by Mia Wasikowska, and she doesn't really have an arc. She's there one place, and by the end of the film, she's in the same place. Nothing really happens to her, and that's how it is with a lot of the characters. Tom Hiddleston is also he's incredible. He's a great actor. I love him in everything that he's been in. But his character, although one of the most interesting in the film, doesn't really do anything. He's one of those typical protagonists where it's you're kind of on the fence about him, but at the same time you're it's hard to explain his character without spoiling the film, and I don't want to do that in this review at all. Jessica Chastain plays Tom Hiddleston's sister in the film, and she's also very interesting. She's very creepy, but at the same time you're just there's something about her that is nice, but it's very hard to find. But these are the three main performances, and Charlie Hunnam is kind of that fourth performance. That performance that isn't really even looked at that much. He's just there because he is, shall we say, the true male protagonist in the film. With all that brushed aside, though, I just want to talk about the production design and the costume design. It is incredible. So much work obviously went into it. And the sound of the film is incredible because it's not just your view this way. It's also the background that they really put a lot of detail on, where you can hear stuff that you normally don't in movies. So a lot of care went into that. And I also love the music because it's not your typical score where it kind of builds and builds and builds and builds and it just stops as soon as something big happens. It just continues going, and that's something that, if you notice in films of today, doesn't happen. But this is where I have to kind of let you guys know about the negatives. Not only are the characters kind of just there's no real arc to them. At the end of the film and at the end of the day, you're just okay, there's nothing special about them. And that also kind of leads to the story. The story is your basic 1940s gothic horror film that just so happened to come out in 2015. That's all there is to it. And I know a lot of you guys don't like my analogies, but here you go. This movie is a lot like a birthday cake. When you go to a birthday party, you look at the birthday cake and you're like, wow, that looks really good. I cannot wait to dive into it and just to eat it because it looks incredible. But then when you actually sit down and you eat it, you're like, there's nothing special about this. My mom makes better cake. My mom makes great homemade cake. Why am I eating this? It's the same with this film, guys. There are better films out there such as Rebecca, that can be watched at home. And that's just it. This movie left a bad taste in my mouth. Now, if you eat homemade cake, you remember that forever, even when your mom does die. That's all I have to say. This film wasn't really memorable. But at the same time, it was entertaining for what it was. So I will be giving this a 3.5 out of 5-star film, or for those that like a letter grade, a C-. Is it worth the price of admission? Maybe matinee, I'd say. Just don't go into it expecting a horror film, please. My Bridge of Spies review will probably be up later on today, so check that out if you can. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so now. Thank you for watching, guys.